On. What's up, everyone? Welcome to ShockCast, episode 16. My name's Luke and Taldi. Glad to have you here today. Today we have the entire team, and the entire team consists of, as you can see, hopefully, Giuseppe.
Hello, everyone.
New editor-in-chief of the site. Everyone give him a warm congratulations for that.
So I have even more power to fire you all.
Absolute power, in fact. Also joining us, we have Chris.
I made it back, guys. They still can't kick me out. Woo!
And you're fired.
There we go. Right off the bat. And we also have Ryan, who's kind of disappearing. I can't see your video, Ryan.
Am I back? Am I here? Hello?
Yeah, you're here, but you're not in video.
I should hold on. I'll try resetting it again. Let me see.
Oh, well, let's see.
Well, let's go on while he fixes.
Better? Am I there?
No. It will fix eventually.
Okay.
We just got to roll with these punches. All right,
Okay.
So as we said, this is ShockCast episode 16. Today's episode, Fallpocalypse, something 2016. Gamepocalypse, Fall 2016, as you can read up there. We're doing a giveaway for you
The
tonight.
funny thing is that he invented the title, by the way.
I was drunk, all right? Drunk at work. Anyway, with today we're doing a giveaway. We're giving away a copy of Champions of Anteria. If you're interested, it's for PC. We're going to be doing a giveaway later on. If you're just here in the chat, then that's all you need to be. We'll choose randomly from you guys. Unfortunately, it's on Uplay, but you can deal with it.
Don't diss Uplay.
Actually, I'm having a fine experience with Uplay. I think they must have really upgraded it since when I tried it out like 2 or 3 years ago.
I mean, everyone disses Uplay in Origin just because they're not Steam. That's the only reason, really.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into the meat of things. So what will we start with?
Let's start actually with just a very quick glimpse of what we've been playing. I think that's always good to show off. So, Chris, what have you been doing?
So, in my absence, we'll call it, I decided to buy a gaming computer. So I'm finally catching up on all great things I've missed. I've been playing Depth. Depth is a lot of fun. I like being a shark and eating people. Me and my friends decided to pick up Mass Effect 3 again because we're one of the 4 people in the world who enjoy the multiplayer on it.
Okay.
And outside that, I played No Man's Sky for a bit until I hit the same planet 16 times in a row.
How do you manage to do that?
It's my luck.
All right. How about you, Ryan?
I was on vacation last week, so I haven't really had a chance to play too much. But now that I'm back after a week in the wilderness and camping and all, I'm definitely I'm gonna jump back into The Witcher because before I left for vacation, I've been playing tons of that, and then a bunch of review things coming up.
What are you reviewing?
I'm going to be doing Dragon Quest VII on 3DS, which should be arriving tomorrow, and I'm really excited to play that on 3DS. And then Resident Evil 4, which will now be the 5th or 6th time I've played that game, which I played it a lot. It's like on 3 different platforms, so yeah.
Does it mean that we can have the review ready by tomorrow?
We'll see. It's
A lot of pressure on you.
Yeah.
All right.
Pressure.
How about you, Giuseppe? What have you been doing?
I've been playing quite a bit of things. I've been playing the new Super Robo Wars that has been released in Asia. It's not been released in the West, but it's still in English. So I've been playing it because Super Robo Wars. Then I've been playing some Black Desert Online as usual, some No Man's Sky, some. I've been playing some things that I can't talk about. But
Right.
quite a few things actually. But I've been jumping around a bit. I actually been trying the silly little mobile game that it's just been released for for Final Fantasy 15. Actually, pretty fun, I guess, for a
mobile game.
flipper game for a flipper game.
Yeah.
But sometimes you are commuting and stuff like that, so I have nothing better to do. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. But yeah, no more. I'm gonna be playing a lot more stuff when I've been playing quite a lot of things at Gamescom, of course, but those I don't know if that really
Yeah, it's 15-minute
qualifies
segments.
qualifies as playing. I mean, I had a blast with the demo of Final Fantasy 15. That was absolutely fantastic. I had a blast with the demo of well, actually, it was just a mission from the game, not just a demo. of Dawn of War 3. That was really, really nice. Let's see what else I played that I really liked. Quite a lot of things, actually. I met Katsuhiro Arada, which is my hero, so that made me very happy. And actually, I played Tekken against him. I
How'd you
played
do?
Tekken 7 against Katsuhiro Arada. I'm just a little humiliated because he actually let me win. I
Oh,
was really sad.
Yeah.
Like I was absolutely button mashing because you guys know that I'm really bad at fighting games,
Hmm.
and obviously it really obviously let me win because that button mashing you don't win against Katsuhiro Arada, which is something that's quite different from what happened with producing from Street Fighter 5 last year at Tokyo Game Show. It absolutely it double perfected me, so that was actually less humiliating, to be honest. But
Yeah.
it's I love Katsuhiro Arada, so that's okay. I can say the achievement unlocked. I played the Tekken 7 against him, so that was a massive honor. I actually got to ask him about summer lesson, which I still hope is gonna come to the West sooner or later. He says that it's problematic. We'll see.
All right.
Uh, let's see if there was anything else. Well, there was a lot else, to be honest. But yeah, it's too long to list.
All right.
But
Lately myself, I've been playing a bit of Inside. Uh,
Ooh, I want to play that.
very,
Yeah.
very good. It's definitely for people who like the art of video games more than the game of video games, and that's totally fine. But if you ever wanted like just a better Limbo, and Limbo's already very great, that's definitely the game to play. I'm glad that it made its way to PS4. Besides that, I've been playing the old Phoenix Wright games because I'm kind of prepping myself up on Phoenix Wright for Spirit of Justice, which we do have. We will be reviewing. That will be up for embargo.
Says the lawyer.
Yeah, I love just objecting. I forgot how ridiculous that first game is, where you're literally you're like cross-examining a parrot and using a metal detector on the prosecutor. Um, besides that, let's see, what else am I playing? I'm playing Champions of Anteria, the game we're giving away, and it seemed fun to begin with. It's kind of it has a very King's Quest feel by like narration, and I really haven't sunk more than 15 minutes into it. I just got it the other day, but
I
uh,
actually saw a little bit of it. I looked like a couple of trailers yesterday, just out of curiosity. It actually looked quite interesting. I didn't expect it to look that interesting, to be completely honest.
yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised with how much I'm enjoying it so far, especially with how little I heard about it beforehand. So I'm hoping that it continues in that path. We'll see soon. I'll have a review up hopefully by the end of this week. And yeah, that's everything for me. So how about we go straight into fall games? We have a packed fall, isn't that right, Giuseppe?
Oh yeah, too much stuff as usual. Well, people complain that games are like delayed, but thank you, goodness. I would die if they didn't delay half of the games that are supposed to come in the fall every single time. I would probably die.
Yeah, it's really packed, like more so than just the games, because we're used to a lot of games in the fall. That happens every year. It's basically that we're getting PlayStation VR, we're getting these new PlayStation announcements, we're probably getting the NX announcements, and just the VR itself is acting like like its own console launch. We have basically 20 or 25 VR games launching alongside it in October. So yeah, it's gonna be hectic, very hectic, especially if for people who are looking to part with their money.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy that I'm not caving just yet,
For
so I
VR,
can. Yeah, so I can actually relax a little bit and play some more of my backlog maybe.
hmm
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get it for sure. At least PlayStation. I don't think I'm going to get the more costly options. So, but I'm definitely going to get PlayStation VR. But I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm probably going to, depending on when it comes out, I'm probably going to prioritize Neo, honestly,
yeah, makes sense.
Mm.
because I prefer to play games on a screen myself, and moreover, I cannot afford play games in VR very much. 'Cause with the fact that I need to be alert for news, I cannot immerse myself in a game that much.
That makes sense. How about you, Chris? Are you planning on getting Neo? Or are you planning on getting VR? What's in your gaming hardware future?
So I just dropped a lot of money on a PC. So yeah, VR's probably not going to be a thing, but I touched upon this like a while back. I haven't really been able to like experiment with VR myself, and I'm not really like when it comes to 3D, I get really nauseous. So I don't know how much better I'm going to fare in VR. I have like the Samsung VR, and I don't do too well with that either. So probably going to stick away from dropping all that money on that. But there's a bunch of AAA titles that I really want coming out in October. So there goes the rest of the money that the PC gods haven't stolen from me yet.
Mm-hmm. And you can always get an HTC Vive now.
I can. If I really want to hate myself and put myself into some debt, I can do it.
Stacy Tentos over in the comments says that she thinks she'll give it. I assume it's a she with Stacy. I think I'll give it a good year before I get the VR. That's what I'm hearing from a lot of people. A lot of people are waiting to see how it performs, whether it continues to be supported. How about you, Ryan?
I think I'm in kind of the same boat, where I'm going to wait a little bit before I look into getting VR or, the Neo or, whatever it is. I think if I do go the VR route, I want to go, I do want to eventually follow Chris's path and get a PC and build one. And I think I'd probably go with an Oculus. I think if I had to choose one of the VR headsets, but again, I'm going to wait a little bit, like maybe if the price goes down, or at the very least, once there's kind of like a big game that I know that I'll enjoy playing in VR. Because right now, that's kind of the one thing about VR that's lacking is there aren't really a ton of like quote unquote killer apps for it. I think right now.
Right. Me myself, I am planning on getting VR. I am the reviews editor, so there's going to be a huge amount of interest in VR titles. People are going to want to know if they're good. So it seems like a necessary thing, and that's really just what I'm telling myself. So I have a reason to buy it.
Yeah.
He's just trying to convince himself.
Yeah, there is no actual reason. Speaking of convincing myself to buy things, Nintendo NX possibly announced this fall. Of course, it's not coming out until
it's
spring.
only out until March anyway, so there is time for that.
Right.
Depending on how what it is, because from what I'm hearing, I'm hearing some horror stories.
Horror stories. All right.
Well,
what are your horror stories for Giuseppe?
If they make it like again, it's completely separate architecture, which is basically a hybrid between a portable and a home console, which means that it's probably going to be underpowered anyway. No third parties are going to do anything for it. I mean, that's a pass for me, unless they have some really, really, really incredible games. But that. Stop making your dogs bark, or I'm gonna
They're
fire
angry
you.
puppies. I don't know why.
Yeah, the architecture thing is what kind of like I'm really hoping that the rumor of them having used an NVIDIA architecture completely separate from x86 is actually false, because that would be a very bad move, according to me.
Yeah, I'm never really sure what Nintendo's doing, because I feel like they should know at this point that hardware is a huge thing. It's why Sony, it's why Microsoft are making these mid-generation leaps, because they're realizing now that the people with the best hardware are going to win overall. And there are definitely bells and whistles. I know that Nintendo's hasn't for the last few generations been positioning itself in a place where they want to be defined by their hardware. But yeah, I think they're struggling for third-party support, and hopefully they can at least put something forward. I like the idea of the Fusion console, and I think that lends itself to interesting possibilities that third-party developers may want to try out, but it seems like a lot of third parties are interested in the power route at the moment, not necessarily the create.
It's not power, honestly. I can tell you for any time I speak with anyone from a publisher, it's not power. It's simply the fact that can we port our games easily to that console?
Yeah.
It's not, well, power is involved in that, of course, because if you have a console that's really underpowered, of course you need to tone your game down a lot, and that's work and that's testing that you have to do and all that. But as long as it's pretty much in the same ballpark, power is not an issue. The issue is very simply is can I just in with very little amount of work put my games in there? Because in the end, the publisher know that most people that buy a Nintendo console buy them for the Nintendo games. So it's already difficult for them to market their game for a Nintendo console.
Mhm.
So if they have to spend too much importing their games for the console, they won't. It's very simple. And people are saying, "Oh yeah, but these publishers saying that they're very interested in the console and this and that and that." Yeah, they were saying the same for the Wii U.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, well, that was the big problem with the Wii U, is that it was difficult to make games, specifically for that device. Because even though if you did port games on them, you had to make some changes or add some features to, sort of work with the gamepad as well.
Yeah, and that's also the fact that the hybrid console thing not going to make things easy to port unless they don't use it at all. I honestly don't understand even commercially why Nintendo would want to do that, because selling two consoles is probably better than selling one.
I
But
my guess is at least in theory that they think that that's an interesting enough concept that it'll capture the hearts and minds of people looking to buy their second consoles, the people who don't buy PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and like the Wii, where that was the case, when you have enough people, even if the attach rate is awful, which it was for the Wii, it still sold millions of copies for each game just because there were so many out there.
yeah, I guess, but I don't know. That the Wii, according to me, seemed like very much of a like perfect storm luck thing that happened because it happened, but it's not going to happen again unless there is a miracle.
Right, Chris, we interrupted you. What were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna pretty much just hop on onto what Giuseppe was saying as far as people porting to the NX, and because Ryan even brought up the Wii U, it's when they first made the Wii U, they were like, yeah, we're gonna get this third party support, everyone's interested, but when it came down to actually developing for the Wii U, from every account I've heard, Nintendo offered very little support in actually making it work. Like even in their the test consoles they gave, there wasn't really much to go off on the dev kits.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm hearing that even dev kits wise, they're being very secretive. They're not sending them to indie developers, for instance, which is getting on indie developers on board. They worked for Sony, worked for Microsoft, so it should work for Nintendo as well. It's games. It's a lot of games that you can tap into. Of course, they're not all of them do big numbers, but they do add variety to your lineup. Of course,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have very much insider info on Nintendo, but what I know is that what I'm hearing from people that are spreading rumors, it's not very encouraging. I hope I'm wrong, because in the end, the better all three big console manufacturers do, the better it is for us. Not just because we get a better console, but also because they push each other.
Yeah.
So when the Wii was super, super, super strong, it pushed both Sony and Microsoft to up their game. And if one of them is almost completely missing from the picture, they don't need to as much. Of course, they still need to because Sony and Microsoft push each other, but they don't have a third competitor pushing, and Sony doesn't have a big competitor in Japan, for instance. So I'm hoping
Right.
that what I'm hearing is either false or that what I think about it is not right.
Right. Okay. Well, also speaking about Nintendo hardware coming out this fall, what about the NES Mini? Are you guys getting that at all?
No.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I'll see, but
I
Right.
mean, why would I? For what reason?
Well, obviously not you, even though
No. I
hashtag
mean,
Giuseppe
even
loves
there are a
Nintendo.
ton of great NES games, but they're not in that console. Like all the super old JRPGs, there is a crap ton of like very very good NES games,
Right.
but but they are not there. Or even if they were, I mean, honestly, why would I want? How many games that is that again?
it's $60.
No, how
60.
many games?
Oh, how many? 30.
$60 for 30 super old games.
Which is very, very cheap compared to the virtual console prices, mind you.
Right. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I wasn't even counting that, honestly.
Can we
Um,
count virtual console prices though? Because those are just tad
Rip-offs?
bit high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, all those like retro prices are ridiculous, even on other camps. Like if you look at Sony, well, it's not Sony that decide those prices, and possibly that's the same for the virtual console. But if you get like a PS2 games for $15, what? Really? I can go to GameStop and grab it from a garbage bin, garbage bin, from the
No, it's a garbage bin.
well, that too. But still, $15 for a digital copy of a PS2 games is a lot,
Yeah. It's a lot.
It is.
and a lot of those games aren't even all that good, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm going through right now. I'm happy to see Castlevania. Yeah, I probably am going to pick this up. I think it's a great novelty item. Oh, that was my virus protection, if you guys heard that. Again.
And
All right. Anyway, yeah, it has the Zelda game. I think I'll get it. It's nice novelty. I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I'm the idiot who buys the amiibos.
yes, you are.
I think that that's a small investment I'll make along with my other big investments like
So you say $60,
PSVR.
right?
$60.
Yeah,
for
it's 60. Yeah.
Well, it's not too much, I guess.
Which I think it's like it's hitting at a good time. It's hitting during the holidays, and I think it'll be.
I will be
gift,
very
so.
honest. For that price, you can probably buy an actual NES.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, you could probably. But...
And for much cheaper, you could just buy a Raspberry Pi, and I'm not gonna advocate.
Yeah, that's not legal.
Yes. I'm not saying
Let's not talk
to
about
do
it.
anything.
No, you're fired.
And lose out too.
Lawyer. You're
I think
a
it'll
lawyer.
be. I think it'll be a good
I'm
holiday
not-
item, though.
I'm not saying what to do with it. I'm just saying you could go out and buy Raspberry Pis, all right?
Lou,
And I'm not even talking about the
And-
hardware. I'm just talking
Lou,
about the
you should
dessert.
plead the. As a lawyer, you should plead the fifth.
Let's
Just go
talk
out and
about
get the
the
dessert.
right thing to do, okay? Let's talk about the right thing to do. The right thing to do is that with that price, you just go buy an actual NES. That's you're probably gonna be able to find it quite easily. Or even better, if you want to be smarter, with that money, you actually go buy yourself a Super NES, which is actually a much better console,
Of course it is.
much better games. So because the NES was great for its historical value, but the real deal was the SNS.
Well, that's what I'm actually hoping that this kind of opens up the door to, is that we get a super, like a mini SNES, we get a mini N64, because I never had a mini Super Nintendo, or I never had,
that's a
sorry, I never had a Super Nintendo in general when I was a kid, so that's kind of my
Just
hope.
buy one.
I could, yeah.
I don't know. Sorry, I will be honest. I don't know how it is in the US, but here in Europe, they throw them after you.
No, it's actually kind of there's definitely a market, a very boisterous market, in fact, for like retro gaming devices and retro games.
Yeah.
To the fact where this is actually much cheaper than buying them all individually. If I wanted to go out and buy even the original Mario game for it, it would cost me $5 or $6 alone. So this is this is actually a decent deal if you're looking to get these games, especially on an HD TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I want it. I understand why other people don't want it. I agree with Giuseppe more that I don't know if Giuseppe said this, but definitely Ryan, where Super Nintendo is going to be the more exciting option if they come to it.
Yep.
I mean, it's Nintendo, so they're probably not going to do it. 'Cause
They
it's too
hate money.
exciting.
They really
They do.
hate money.
And
I mean,
to
they
put-
never. Nintendo does, Chris. You have to admit it. Nintendo does hate money. They never did a home console actual Pokemon game. How much?
Oh no,
fucking
trust
money
me,
do
I've
they
been
do
yelling
with
about
that?
that forever. You know how long I've been yelling for that, Giuseppe? This damn kid.
I think I can. I actually saw a comic about it, so it's not completely from my imagination. It was a webcomic. I don't remember who did it, but there was this scene in the Nintendo conference room, and someone proposes to make a Pokemon game for the Wii U, and the boss's head explodes. And that must be how it is, because I mean, if I don't know why they don't do it. I mean, it's free money basically.
My best guess for it is because they, I think they're saving it for the time when they are really desperate, when they need that last ditch effort, because they know
They
that's
weren't really desperate with the Wii U.
Oh, they were still riding off that Wii coattail nonsense. They still have the money in the Nintendo coffers, which are slowly drying out.
Honestly, I think if we see it, we're going to see it with the NX because it makes perfect sense since if it's going to be a console handheld hybrid, like a Pokemon
Possibly,
game is a
yes.
no-brainer. Like,
Wasn't there a rumor that the NX was actually going to launch with a Pokemon game? I mean, obviously it's a rumor, but
That sounds like weird because the sun, unless it's Sun and Moon, the Sun and Moon again,
yeah.
because
Sun
they're
Moon
gonna
2.
make it. Unless they're gonna make like two Pokemon games in 6 months. Sounds a little strange.
Yeah, we'll see though. All right, but now we're starting to actually get into games, and this is Gamepocalypse Fall 2016 edition.
Yeah,
So,
we talked before about console for half an hour. Sorry about that.
so let's get into gaming. Let's start with September. We got a lot of good games coming out September. I'm not going to talk about Phoenix Wright.
Forza.
Forza's a big one. What else do we have coming out? Going through the list right now. Yokai Watch 2 for anyone who cares. We're missing a lot of 3DS games because we have the Nintendo Direct coming tomorrow. I'm sure that as soon as that goes up, this is already going to be out of date to some respect. We have Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. That has a huge following.
mm-hmm.
We just got that game, in fact. I just got it in my email
Persona,
beforehand.
honestly.
Yeah, I think everyone prefers Persona, but I know that a lot of people still play this. Let's see. Persona 5 is actually coming out in September, just not
Just in Japan.
by us. But I can imagine all the people who are going to start importing the game then.
Well, I know that on like 8 a.m. on the 15th, I'm gonna be in front of the shop to see the lines. Well, if I manage, because on the 15th there is going to be like the first day of Tokyo Game Show, so it's a little problematic. But I'm definitely gonna try to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually gonna probably just gonna buy it myself. I'm just gonna cave and get a Japanese copy. But yeah,
Why not? All right. Also for
funny.
September, we have Recore, which isn't going to be a major game, but definitely
I think
one
it
that's going
is.
to be. You think it is?
I think it is. The only problem is that it's made by Inafune, but the rest is actually pretty good,
That's a problem that it's made by Inafune.
considering the track record.
As of recent, absolutely.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see how.
No,
how Recore
honestly,
turns out.
jokes aside, I tried it and it's actually pretty fun. As someone that is not a big platformer guy, I had a lot of fun.
Sorry, I'm
And
dying.
the main character is actually very much charming. I really like the mechanics, the fact that you can like swap the cores from between the various robots she has. It's a very interesting game, and I think it's gonna do quite good.
Sorry, I'm dying.
Did we lose
Um,
you?
yeah. Wait, can you hear me?
As long as you
I hear you, don't
as
die.
long as you mute your microphone, you can do that.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how. New mic. All right, so let's move into October very quickly. We got a lot. That's when like most of the big games start hitting. We have
I think October is the biggest month out of everything.
Yeah,
pretty much.
definitely.
October is going to be crazy.
It's the violent month.
Yeah.
very violent. We got Mafia 3 just to start it off. Same day also as Paper Mario Color Splash, which is big for me. Not big for a lot of people. Then very soon after, we have PlayStation VR launching, and that's going to bring a lot of titles. Maybe not a lot of the best titles, a lot of small experiences.
Well, there isn't very much big titles for now for PlayStation VR.
Right, though we do see some interesting compatibility. We have Rise of the Tomb Raider. The 20th year celebration is going to have VR compatibility, though not huge.
Those things are very much secondary in a game, though. I don't think anyone is going to buy that game for the VR.
No. Also, Drive Club VR, I'm very excited for that.
That's interesting, yeah.
Also, mixed up in there, we have Gears of War 4, not VR compatible, but Gears of War 4. Who's excited for that?
It's probably, I think out of all the October releases, that's probably the one I'm looking forward to most.
Okay.
I'm actually more on the Battlefield 1 side, to be honest.
Oh boy.
Just because I just love the setting and all. I'm definitely gonna get Gears of War 4, but Battlefield 1 is between the shooters from October is my big one.
This is that awkward moment that Giuseppe and I agree on something, because I'm on Battlefield 1 instead of Gears.
Also,
think
I
everyone should
actually honestly would put Titanfall on pretty much on the same level as Gears. Titanfall 2. because I played it at Gamescom and it's really really fun.
Really, I heard a lot of people weren't having fun with it, at least in the beta, but I'm not sure how that
A
translates
lot of
over.
people aren't having fun with, I don't know, sugar or
Yeah.
good things or life. So I don't know. I can't relate with that very much. I had a ton of fun when I did. Actually, did pretty good when I tried it, which is actually quite surprising for me and shooters.
That's reassuring to hear, though. Okay. Also out, we have The Last Guardian and World of Final
Why?
Fantasy. The Last Guardian, if it doesn't get delayed, you never know. We have a
No, not
couple
anymore.
months.
It's too late. But no.
I think we're fine now. We're in the home
I
stretch.
think this
but-
this time's the right time.
Though I don't know. Final Fantasy got delayed in the home stretch, so
After
there's
a whole
that.
event announcing
know.
the date.
That's Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And that delay, honestly, well, we can talk about it when we get to November, I guess. What
Yeah.
else will we have on October?
Let's see. Anything else in October? We have the Elder
Skyrim,
Scrolls V Skyrim.
Yeah.
I'm just
Sorry?
the new Dragon Ball game. Anybody?
Dragon
me?
Ball.
Just me? All right.
Uh,
Oh, and Civ 6 is coming out. I'm excited for that.
What?
Yeah, Civ 6 comes out on the 21st.
Oh, Civilization 6. Why did you
Civilization
name
6,
it,
yeah.
Lewis? You're
I
fired.
didn't. Yeah, do you know it was under Battlefield 1 and just the glare from the screen when I saw Battlefield.
Yeah,
blurred
that's a problem for me. That's an actual life problem for me. Because it's fucking crack.
Well, you
Oh,
can play.
yeah.
You can. Well, can't you play Civ while you're playing Battlefield? Like you could probably do it, right? Like.
I mean, that's
the
my
problem
fight.
is honestly, seriously, that I cannot detach myself from that game. Like I have to force myself to stop playing.
Right.
Like Civilization is really crack.
Yeah.
Like, bad crack.
I
I'm
feel like
excited.
if Giuseppe and I played each other in Civ, like I would just suddenly like make my first unit of archers, and then I just get rolled over by tanks and just not.
I
see
don't play
people.
multiplayer in Civilization because I get impatient.
Thank God I'm
Like,
safe.
I can't really support strategy games. I really can't play multiplayer because people take forever, and I'm there. Come on, I want to do my next turn. You fucker.
All right. So let's go straight into November now. We have Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I'm actually excited for it.
Which I'm very interested to, because people are like bashing it, probably mostly because of the Modern Warfare thing, remastered thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's very interesting.
I thought the
People
E3
are-
trailer was great.
Yeah, absolutely. People are I actually saw at Gamescom a mission that I don't think they've shown it outside so far. They just shown it behind closed doors, and the squad was on a asteroid that had been kicked out of orbit and was like spiraling towards the sun. And the orbit was so crazy that the day-night cycle was 1 minute.
Okay.
So basically, it was going and like it was like 3,000 degrees on the day side, and so like every minute you had to find shelter, otherwise it cooks you, and it looked absolutely fantastic. I think they actually what is going to be the clincher for me, if it's good as much as I think, is the story, because they hired people from Naughty Dog, and they seem to be doing a great job with it. Now, of course, we'll have to actually see it, but I'm excited, honestly.
Do you know what? We said that we'd give Champions of Anteria away
Oh, we can
halfway
do
through.
that.
Yeah, let's
We
do
should
that
probably
now.
do that.
Yeah, let's roll it. Chris, you're the person who rolls things.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
If you roll yourself, you're fired.
And
Is Nightbot alive? Someone turn off Nightbot?
are you sure it's that and not Space Winner? Huh.
Someone kill Nightbot?
Someone
This
must have
guy.
killed Nightbot.
Well, put it back up.
Interesting.
Sorry, guys. Let's go on. Let's go on.
All right, let's keep
while
rolling with this.
While this guy gets himself fired, let's go on talking. So what else? What else is coming in November?
We have Dishonored 2.
Well, that's
Good
another
looking.
interesting one.
Yeah. That's probably one of the ones I'm looking forward to most in the fall.
Right. I think more interesting, Watch Dogs 2.
That's very good. I played that one at Gamescom. Actually, 2 separate demos. It was a ton of fun. Like the open world looks crazy. I'm still not very convinced by the main character. I'd be crazy, but I actually like the Item Pierce more.
Right.
Everyone hates him, but I actually liked him more.
Also, Pokemon Sun and Moon. This is you, Chris.
Hey! So I'm not gonna bore everyone with my
Is
Pokemon
that a
rants.
thing?
Yeah, Pokemon Sun and Moon's coming out in November, and you
Okay.
all will be missing me for a long time because
That's
Pokemon's
fine.
gonna
We can
consume my
always
life.
fire you.
I mean, you've tried it. I think we're at 10 times now, and I'm still here.
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to it too. I haven't played a Pokemon game in a decent amount. All of those new Hawaiian
like the
evolutions.
forms.
What's
Yeah,
the
it was
name
really
of it?
cool.
Yeah, the
The Alolan
Aloha.
forms.
Yeah,
No, Alolan.
Alolan.
Get it right, Lou. God.
All right. The Alolan forms look interesting.
Yeah.
It also helps that I get a lot of games from Nintendo and I don't have to spend money on them. But I know that I'm definitely going to be sinking some time into Pokemon.
So if I'm gonna do a small little plug, this is really just going to, if you're a person who enjoyed Pokemon back in the day and then kind of fell off because the game stayed the same, they are legitimately changing a lot of the game. The normal Pokemon formula finally, after what is it, 20 years now? 20 years of Pokemon has finally been changed.
How so?
There's no gyms.
What?
Yep.
Then how do they do things?
We'll find out, won't we, Lou?
Yes, we will.
You guys go on talking about that crap. I'm doing other things right now.
All right, well, let's get you back into the fold. Final Fantasy 15.
Okay. Well, it's coming. It was coming in September too, but now hopefully it's the real one. It's the real date. But I have to say, if you look at it, the fact that they actually delayed it after that big event they did, they like took a big image it like that. They really care about it. That's the message I'm getting.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Great phone ringtone.
No, that was the that was the Final Fantasy thing. Since you guys were talking about Pokemon, I was playing stuff.
I was gonna say,
You were
Giuseppe
playing your
gave up.
own. He was playing Final Fantasy Pokemon Go.
No, I was playing like that Justice Monster fight that just came out.
Right. Yeah, I'm actually very excited. I haven't gotten into Final Fantasy for the past few years, to my detriment, but that seems like it's up my alley. I played through the demo. I'm ready for it. A little sad it's not coming out in September because I kind of cleared my schedule for it. So,
Well, talk about me. I actually set my trip in Japan so that I would be there for launch, and I'm not anymore. So I was a little bummed by that, but you know.
right.
Which, by the way, we're gonna have something good for Final Fantasy 15 in the next few days, because we're going to have an interview for with Tabara-san at PAX. So we're going to be able to ask a few questions. I had some questions that actually I'm not the one interviewing it. Steven is, but I'm going to send questions with him.
Right.
So we'll hear more things about Final Fantasy 15. There is also a good panel at PAX, so I'm pretty excited to hear more. And I want to play the demo again on not Daskai, but the new demo again at Tokyo Game Show, because that was a lot of fun at Gamescom.
We didn't bring it up, and I may be the only person interested. Actually, that's not true because Chris is here. But Destiny: Rise of Iron is coming out.
Yes.
Oh
something
yeah,
has to-
that's interesting. I played it. That's
Oh, you
another one I
played?
played. Yeah, I played it at game. Well, there is gameplay of me playing the new PvP mode, the new PvP maps, and the one of the strikes at Gamescom. On the side there is the gameplay. Go look at it if you want to laugh, because honestly, I hadn't played Destiny for so long that it sucked really really badly, and I was on 32 hours without sleep as well. So
Excuses.
I already suck at shooters, but at Destiny when I played it, I was actually pretty decent. But after not having been played it for like 8 months, all the muscle memory was gone. But the gameplay was actually a lot of fun. if I didn't suck that much. But
Any chance that you're gonna get back into it? I know that you played it for a
I
few
don't
days.
think. Well, I would honestly, I would play it because I love Destiny when it came out. But I think I'm going to wait for Destiny 2, simply because in that period there I don't have enough time, and I'm left behind. So I would have to grind, and I don't have the time. But I'm definitely gonna go back into Destiny 2 as soon as that one
Makes
releases,
sense.
because I love Destiny. It was a great game. I just stopped because I fell behind in the grind, and when you fell behind in the grind in that kind of game, either you have time to get back in, or you kind of just don't do things.
Yep.
So-
So
Two things. One, if you want to get back into it, they streamlined the grind now. It's a lot more accessible than what it used to be. But on the flip side, I brought Nightbot back to life.
Oh, good.
Yay.
So we could try doing that again.
Yep, we're gonna give it a shot.
okay,
Sweet. Dual Shockers won a copy.
he's fired.
No, it was if I rolled myself.
2 in a row.
That's still
Did
yourself.
everyone leave?
For people listening in the audio, we've gotten Dual Shockers twice. We're on the third roll now.
Which hasn't loaded.
We're doing it too
Well,
quickly.
if we broke Nightbot.
All right.
Anyway,
Yo, what is this?
Got it a third time. Let's start moving into December. We'll figure this out as we go.
Yeah.
So we've got Gravity Rush 2 coming out in December.
I'm excited for that.
That's
So.
so good. Oh my god, I want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually really hoping that I get to play that one in Tokyo Game Show. Probably gonna have it there.
Kind of bummed it's not on Vita, but I am looking forward to playing it. It looks really good.
Who cares? As long as I get. Actually, I'm happy it's not on Vita because they could do a lot more on the PS4.
It is true. I think it's just because Gravity Rush is like one of my favorite Vita games, and it was kind of nice to have something, for the Vita. But
Yeah,
I'm
but
still looking forward to
if you
playing
see
it.
how big it is on PS4, like the world is so big, the city is so awesome. Like I really can't wait to play it. He actually rolled himself, so he's fired.
Yes. No. We've just been going back and forth, rolling between Chris and I.
Okay. Anyway, the funny thing though is that I actually seen everything I see of no, it's not funny. I mean, it's great. Everything I see of Gravity Rush 2 makes me want to play it more. Like every single thing, it's incredible.
All right. We actually got a winner now.
Good.
DDH 7900 won a copy of
Congratulations.
Champions of Anteria. Good job. Make sure you private message one of us on the team, and we'll make sure to email you out the code for you play after we're done. I said that like it's a bad thing. Okay, moving on. Did we say Steep?
No, we didn't say that yet.
Oh yeah, Steep. Is it? Oh yeah, it's coming in September.
It's in,
I played
it's in
that one
December,
on-
yeah.
I December, see. I played at Gamescom as well. Actually, quite fun. Even for someone like me that isn't very much of a trick guy, it's actually quite fun. Especially the exploration thing.
Right. Also out that month, we actually got a lot of big games. I didn't think it was as big as it is, but we have Dead Rising 4 coming out, which will,
big.
Yeah.
we have
I didn't play it, but I've seen it in action. Lots of zombies as usual.
right.
Lots of very weird weapons,
Good.
Also out, we have South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
which I played. And
How'd you like it?
I hate South Park,
Uh,
but the game itself was pretty fun. Like I just don't like South Park.
That's
You
good to
can-
hear, though.
There is they actually added the mechanic in which you can control your stomach while shitting. Just,
yes.
Put that there. You can actually move around your stakes and control your shitting pattern while you're on the toilet. So yeah,
That's definitely good to hear, though, because I think the biggest issue with the last South Park game was how.
was that you couldn't control your shitting.
Well, no, it
Yeah.
was just plain awful.
Huh?
I mean, you couldn't control the farting well, let alone the shitting. But it was stuttery. It was really, really bad. They said they were figuring out the gameplay as they were going, and it showed. So I'm glad to hear that it plays well, even if you don't like the South Park references personally.
Oh yeah, I actually didn't get to try the nozzles rift that they actually had
Oh.
games.
Oh,
And
Oh
the,
God.
and
is
the
that a
guys
bad
actually
thing?
the Ubisoft guy was very apologetic. We only have 2 units, so unfortunately we don't have it for everyone. I was like, please, no problem. Let them try it. I'm okay with this.
Right.
Absolutely no issue. I'm fine.
Right. Okay. Yeah, and what else do we have? We have Kingdom
Yakuza
Hearts
6.
HD 2.8
Oh
Final
yeah,
Chapter Prologue.
that's another good one. We actually. Oh wow! Did you forget World of Final Fantasy? Am I gonna have to fire you?
No, we said that.
We mentioned it. You might have just been, we
Okay.
had Pokemon coming up. I think you conked out a bit.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Yakuza 6, we didn't bring that up yet.
Yeah, Yakuza 6 is not coming out in the West though. It's coming out in Japan, and that's
Well,
it.
we
Yeah.
brought up Persona, so I figured it was only fair.
I mean,
Oh, that's
guys,
true.
we haven't mentioned Eagle Flight. What's wrong with
What?
us?
Or Star Trek Bridge Crew. Don't forget that one.
Oh my God, Star Trek! I mean, that thing was really when they presented it at E3. Was it at E3? Yes.
It was,
I was like,
yeah.
really? No, no, really,
hmm
really. Yeah, yeah. I guess some people. I guess Trekkies are gonna be happy about it. Maybe.
Though, speaking of, VR stuff that we're not overly into, I'm actually kind of into Werewolves Within, which is that
Yeah, I'm looking
Ubisoft
forward to
title
that.
coming out.
That actually looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
That looks basically like a board game, and I love that shit.
Yeah.
I'm all over that. Uh, and yeah, that it seems like that's most everything that we've gotten out. Though there's absolutely going to be stuff that is coming out Q3, Q4 that we don't know about yet. Hopefully, Cuphead. I keep holding out for Cuphead, and it's never out.
I think next year.
I
I don't think
know.
it's
It's
out.
never gonna come out. Gonna go vaporware.
But let's just talk. What is our most anticipated game? We just read a huge list of things.
It's hard.
Yes, that's what she said.
We
Well,
need to have only one.
It's just one.
Uh, how many do you want? 2, 3?
I
Three.
need 10.
Let's do 3.
I'll go three.
We'll
Three's
do
good.
3. 3 is a decent number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Conservative.
For me, number one definitely Final Fantasy 15. Like there is not even an issue there.
Okay.
Then it's difficult. Well, I'm almost not counting it because it's coming out very early. But Forza definitely also another one that's very much something I anticipate. And then it's difficult to choose between the shooters. Like Battlefield 1 is probably gonna be the one, but also the other one are pretty big for me. But yeah, if I had to choose one shooter, then it's probably gonna be Battlefield 1. Stop! Fuck! Sorry.
He's just
Playing
prepared for
mobile
me to talk
games.
about Pokemon.
All right, Dallo Arlance says he's interested in The Last Guardian and World of Final Fantasy. Those are his top
Which is
2.
the problem? Too much. See?
Mine is definitely Sonic Boom, Fire and Ice. I really need a great Sonic Boom game.
That'll go great while you're playing Eagle Flight.
Yeah, ooh, great. Going through the list, I think I'm most excited for. This is a remaster, so whatever. But Skyrim, I never actually got to beat it because I had it on the PS3. And
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I'm a peasant, so I never bought it on PC, even though now I'm totally capable of doing it with my rig. So I'm excited to see that because that's the one Bethesda game I haven't been burned on lately. Besides that, I'm super excited for South Park: The Fractured Butthole, and I think Battlefield 1. Because Battlefield 1. So.
Well, yeah.
So, I mean, do I have to say I'm excited for Pokemon more?
Now, do they count
Well, if you
together?
say it, you're fired, so you can decide.
I'm just gonna imply it then, and then only talk about 2 other games.
Wait, Sun and Moon aren't 2 separate games for you? Do you get both of them?
No, I'm not that guy.
Okay, because they have a sweet collector's edition with them both.
I've seen it. It looks awesome. I'm actually okay. So when it comes down to it, me and my friends at this point, we've all been playing Pokemon together since it came out. So what we do, because it's available on the eShop at midnight, we download it at midnight, and we all just hang out and play Pokemon together, and just like flash back to being small children. And we don't get the same versions, so in case we want to actually catch them all, we can.
Okay, you stick with
we're
being
nuts.
big children.
Exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm getting Pokemon Sun, so that's gonna be my most anticipated one. I'm fired. Sorry, Giuseppe.
How about
No,
you,
I'm sorry.
Kyle?
I am sorry, but
But honestly, my other two, I'd probably Battlefield 1, and I'm really excited for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, just because the first one was really fun. I don't know if anyone else played it or if anyone else cared about Dragon Ball. It was a lot of fun, but the fighting was a little clunky, and watching the footage from this, the fighting seems really solid now, so it has me pretty hyped.
by the way, Chris, go hit that winner again because the one that won that doesn't have a PC. So go ahead
Ah.
and hit more for like 20 times.
And he won it again.
I think DDH 700.
What about you,
700
Ryan? In
just
the,
gonna be
in the meanwhile,
he's just gonna be stuck with that for forever. I think top 3 games for the fall, I had to go with Gears of War 4, Dishonored 2, and probably be a tie between Last Guardian and Gravity Rush 2. So technically 4, but somewhere in there.
well,
Okay.
for me it's technically like 10, 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
Too, so.
I'm planning on playing a lot of games. I'm very excited. While I gave my 3 games, and I know that it's not one game, I'm just very excited to play the launch lineup that is coming to
Yeah.
VR. They're all kind of probably going to be like short 5 or 10 minute experiences, or at least that long until they get awful and boring. But
Yeah, for me that's the deal breaker really.
yeah. But I'm sure after some time with the system, we will get more full-fledged games.
Yeah, well, Riggs seems to be something you'd play for longer probably.
Yeah, I'm very excited for Riggs. Riggs seems
And
like it's gonna be.
even Valkyrie is also another good one. Actually, that's one that I actually played for a while. Even Valkyrie is a very valid entry. Probably my favorite, actually, even a little bit more than Riggs.
Okay, so do we have any more questions about fall? Anything burning in your hearts?
Too much questions. Like it is like.
How are we gonna
How-
afford it?
Yeah, exactly. Do I get a raise or something like that?
All right, so
Definitely going to be problematic.
yeah.
Especially since I'm in Tokyo until October 4th, so I will have a backlog already when I come back because I can bring only my PS4 with me. So
Mhm.
anything that comes out on Xbox One or PC, I can play it until October 4th. So yeah.
Right.
So Dalo is a question.
Let's wait for Dalo's question. Until then, I'm going to list off the upcoming games coming out. Oh, actually, no. Dalo's question is here. Ever been to a retro gaming convention? Any of us?
I've been to a couple. There were very many weird people.
That's any convention, though.
Actually, that's I mean in Italy, retro conventions are really interesting. I actually have a friend that is a big retro collector. He has, I think, every console since the thing with Pong. Which I don't even remember the name of that thing. Like, I mean, the thing that actually plays just Pong.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, not Pong. The thing with the two like thinking like this. What's their name?
I think that's
forgot.
Pong.
That's
That's
fun.
Pong. Yeah.
Pong.
Oh,
Yeah.
that thing. Since that, he has everything. I mean, he has a garage that's full of consoles
That's great.
and flippers. Like, that guy is crazy. He's actually a store manager of GameStop.
That explains it.
But how does it explain it? I mean, that they don't get that kind of consoles?
It explains the crazy.
Okay.
As a former manager of GameStop, yeah, it's a thing.
Right. Dalo says,
Yeah.
I was at a retro gaming expo and I got to play old arcades and saw a lot of old gaming and found some imports that I was looking for.
What
Yeah,
did you find?
I hear that's a great locale. I've always been meaning to go to it. Here in the U.S., it's been a bit harder in New York. They're fairly common. In New Jersey, less so. And I wanted to grab one of those Retron consoles, like the
Mhm.
Yeah.
Retron 5. I hear great things about those.
Well, the funny thing is that for me, I didn't get into gaming with the console. I got into gaming with
Right.
the computer actually. My Spectrum 48K, which was actually a pretty advanced, full-fledged computer at that time, was like the less known competitor of the Commodore 64.
Right.
But that was my very first gaming machine. I was 6. I remember my father bought it for me at Christmas. My 60 year when my Christmas when I was 60 year old, I got this Spectrum 48K, and it was like an awesome little machine. You actually had to write load the name of the game, and then it took like 30 minutes to load the game from a cassette tape recorder. And was like for 30 minutes, and
Okay.
then you finally could play the game, and it was awesome. Like when I was 6, and I was like,
Right.
remembering those things when people complain about small things about games nowadays. I was like, my God, you guys don't understand how easy you have it. People complain about like 40 seconds load times. 40 seconds. I had to wait for 30 minutes back then.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go into the games coming out this week. On September 1st, we have Axiom Verge finally coming out on the Wii U. Also, Earthlock Festival of Magic for PC and Xbox One. Starhammer: The Vanguard Prophecy for PlayStation 4. Adventure Labyrinth Story coming out on 3DS. On the 2nd, we have Seasons After Fall for PC. On the 6th, we have a ton of things coming out. We have The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 2.
Yay.
Interestingly, coming out on PlayStation 3. You don't see many of those nowadays. And Vita, we will have a review of that. Also, we have Touhou Genzo Rondo Bullet Ballet coming to PlayStation 4. We already have the review of that up if you're interested. Along with that, Just Sing for Xbox One. The Tomorrow Children for PlayStation 4.
Oh,
Dogos.
that's
So, what were you going to say about that one?
about time for the Tomorrow Children. I'm actually
Yeah,
gonna play the hell out of that one.
I'm excited.
Unfortunately, it's gonna come out just before I depart from Tokyo, but I really want to play it. About time, finally.
Uh,
I'm gonna go and hug the developer if I find him at Tokyo Game Show, because they finally managed it. I really like the idea of the game and the style and everything.
that's Q Games,
So
right?
Dylan Cuthbert, if you're listening, wait for me because I'm gonna come and hug you.
Also, we have, let's see, Dogos coming out for PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One. Quare Magic Library for PlayStation 4. Beyond Flesh and Blood for Xbox One. And Necropolis for Xbox One. And, yeah, pretty slow start to September, but things start picking up after that. Uh,
Yep.
Social media plugs. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at just slash Dual Shockers. Very easy to remember. If you want to find us on YouTube, it's a bit different. You look up youtube.com/slash DSTV Originals. Meanwhile, if you want to come watch and be part of the show, join us every Wednesday at 8:30 at Twitch. 8:30 Eastern. I gotta say that now because I'm 7:30 Central. Twitch.tv/. Dual Shockers Live. We're going to try and keep doing these giveaway things now that we're back on the ball. Finally, you can come find our round-the-clock news coverage, reviews, features, and editorials over at DualShockers.com. And that's everything. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for
And
being on.
be ready for a ton more interviews and previews from Gamescom, because I'm not nearly done with those.
Yeah, we get like 2 of those up a day. Those are great.
So
Um,
yeah.
So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for joining. So if you want to give your Twitter handle, I know Giuseppe doesn't like doing that. You can find me at Luke and Taldi.
You can find me at Mr. Moxymans. It's a lot of Destiny and Pokemon stuff.
I'm
with
at
it.
Ryan Metzler, just my name. Don't wear it out.
All right, awesome. Let's go into the theme music. See you guys later.